and his wife went to the hospital with her, then you can't hold the rest of them accountable. You got 5 salesmen, you can't let one off the hook, because then that means you're going to let them all off the hook. And I used to lead by example. I normally sell 5 times more than anybody else. But then you can refinance easy. But I mean, if God forbid, top line goes like this, there's covenants in your loan agreements. Every loan agreement that's ever been written has got a covenant that if they lose confidence in you, you embarrass them, they can call the loan. That's never happened to me. It's happened to a couple of the kids. Some kid went and, got in trouble and did something crazy, and the bank called the loan. But that doesn't happen too often. There was another question, yeah.
What do you think about recruiting fees for finding employees?
Okay, well, recruiters are a step above business brokers, but I mean, they can be a necessary evil. But I mean, I used the Wall Street Journal. I used the professional sales organization associations to hire people. I occasionally use the big, Korn Ferry and that kind of thing. When I had, 5,000 employees and I wanted somebody that was well known in the industry. But you can make, and they want you to pay. It used to be a third up front or a half up front for the recruiting fees. I'll pay you 10%, and I will pay your fee based on their productivity, how much they produce. And not many headhunters will do that because they have no control. But they also not necessarily bringing you the best. They're bringing you the first they can get, because it's like sales. I mean, it's a numbers game for them. It's a numbers game for them as well. And but you got to hold them accountable, guys. I'm telling you, because you're never going to refinance anything. I talk about all these refinance because you heard Roberto. If we never make another sale, we've already got from Q2, we've got Q3 and Q4 already done, right? He didn't stop selling, did he? No, he just, the fact that he was able to do that many sales, and you heard him saying he was leading from the front. He led the sales. Heard that? Okay. Well, I mean, sales are probably going to be up. They were up 30% last year. He said they were already up 30% this year. And if they didn't make another sale, well, he had 5 or 6 more months or 5 months left in the sales period. So these probably sales are going to be up 50%. And of course, now that he owns, him and his team own 50% of the company, I mean, the way they look at it is 50 cents of every dollar they bring in is them. And it is. But if the top sales organizations are brutal. They're ruthless. And, and the guys that get the highest pay, quite often in the big companies, the leading guys that used to sell Microsoft and those kind of things, I mean, guys made millions a year. Millions. They got paid, other than for Bill and Steve and some of the senior executives, they were the highest paid guys in the organization. But you got to hold them accountable. You got to hold them accountable. And, treat salesmen, lavishly, because it's money well spent. Is there, another question?
In Bert's case, you said he can't refinance with the...
No, he said he can't afford to pay for an audit. That's what he said. And if he can't pay...
I can afford the audit. I'm saying weekly accounting from the outside firms as opposed to in-house.
Okay, I misunderstood your question. Okay, the weekly accounting, you have your accountants come in and look at your books. Okay, they will tell you if the books are worth a shit or not. Okay, I'm betting they're not. Okay, but let's say they are. Then the quick fuck slag you got on the outside can start from that basis of the books are right. Okay, most of the books that you're going to, that's why we want an audit either from our internal team or an external audit from our accountants, because most of the books aren't right. They're not.
So in that case, would you still ask them to roll the fees, or is refinancing?
No. You can't ask them to tell. You can ask them anything, but I mean, rolling fees isn't the gilt-edged panacea. You cheap cocksuckers. Trust me. Once you have 4 or 5 acquisitions, you're never going to hear rolling fees from their lips again. Because then you stand up like a fucking white man. Like you had a pair. You pay for your bit, You pay for lunch. You're not, on the corner looking for handouts. It's in the beginning they roll fees. Because you don't have any money. But after you have money, you pay the fees. Everybody understand that? Are you scratching your veil or asking a question? Well, okay. Don't say scratching your ass. That wouldn't be nice for a nice Muslim woman like yourself. Okay. I'm sure I'll get some shit on YouTube about that. Oh, you berated the poor Muslim woman, and I guess I did. Okay. Any other questions on that? Any other questions on anything?
So you're walking into the Four Seasons roll. What was some of the biggest?
No, we didn't roll up the Four Seasons. Oh no, you mean not the hotel? You mean the Four Seasons? Yes.
So what were the big red flags you saw? What were the big shenanigans you cut out immediately?
They had too many employees. They were paying too high for some of the services. And the owners were not raping it. That's the exaggeration, but they were living off the business. And I know everybody lives off the business, but I mean, when you're buying these things and you're refinancing, you're not going or financing them, you're not going to be able to finance. If the president, the owner is paying himself $200,000 a year, and it's really a $75,000 a year job, right? Okay, so he's reduced the profits $200 a year for umpteen years. You're going to have to replace him. He's going to want you to add back the $200 and not count it as an expense. Well, you can maybe add back part of it, but you're going to have to hire somebody for $75. And that's normally what you see. And the cars, and your sister's got a car, and your brother's got a car, and your mom's got a car, blah, 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 blah. And houses and all these things. You're going to be able to knock the purchase, I guarantee you're going to be able to knock purchase prices down because you're not going to pay for all that shit. That reduces the profitability. And you're not going to add it back like they want you to. And that'll be the first bone of contention. So you're going to be able to ascertain just how motivated they are when you go for that first, interface, those first arguments. And that's when you do the takeaway, go out the door. Or if they're in your office, don't let the door hit you in the fat ass on the way out. Yes, I did literally say that. They weren't always fat asses, but, occasionally I was rude and say to the women, "Your wiggly ass." Don't let it hit you in the wiggly ass on the way out. I never told a Muslim owner that, but I'm looking forward to telling a Muslim owner that so I can say, You understand that now? So those are the things, but they are glaring, and your industry expert and your seasoned board will be able to just walk through and just pick shit left, right, and center. And that's why they're worth their 1, 2, 3%, 4, 5%, and greater. And chairman, 10%. So don't worry about what you pay. Hunger Games said it best, don't worry about the stock that you're giving up. It's monopoly money. Any other questions? Okay, guys, we'll see you later tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, go out and rip their fucking head off and shit down their necks. Leave no prisoners. Run towards the gunfire.
Amen.
You too, Blondie. Okay.